Oh my goodness. It feels like it's been so long, man. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is. And of course, y'all know who y'all looking at. Welcome, everybody, to the season 5 premiere of Club Pizzle. I'm of course your host, Don P. Pizzle Pie God. I'm no longer Unc. In 26, don't call me Uncle Don. I'm Cousin Don. Favorite cousin. I'm the cool cousin. All that good stuff, man. I want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this podcast. I want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this platform, newly minted Peterson Media. Yes, indeed. Happy New Year to everybody. I know it's getting close to that time where it's like, all right, enough of saying, Happy New Year. But here we are, man. Season 5, year 5 of Club Pizzle. The official 5-year anniversary is February the 2nd. But this whole entire year, we are celebrating the 5th anniversary of this podcast. I truly want to thank everybody who's been rocking with me since day one. The people who discovered me a year in, 2 years in, 3 years, and even the people who discovered me last year. I appreciate that. I'm nothing but thankful about that. To be able to do this for this long is something, because it was a lot of pods that was out and a lot of people that was starting pods when I got started, and they no longer pod. I'm still here. It's a few of them still hanging around. As y'all can see, we got a whole new set. I did a little bit of rearranging. I'm gonna just tell y'all now, I hate this futon that I'm sitting on. I'm definitely getting something. But yeah, man, I got the jerseys on here. If y'all wondering what the Bears are, these represent my 3 grandkids. Well, three of my grandkids, 3 of my boys. Mr. Breckles, Jace, and Hendrix. I got a lot of grandkids. I just had 3 more last year. I don't have enough room to put bears, but these are my guys. Y'all gonna see them. Yep, one is a Bucky's bear. You got Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and you got a Shoney's bear. So if y'all see bears getting added, that's just like grandkid stuff. Again, I am a granddad. I am a dad. I am, I'm all of those things. I'm trying to think of what else, man. I did say Happy New Year. Letting y'all in on the new set. We here. Before we get started, Battleground Season 3 finale is January the 24th. I'll be celebrating my birthday that night. We had Exotic. Defending champion Princess Love 2-time. Can she go for the 3-peat and end the season as the champion and come in and go into season 4 as the champion? We're going to see, man. We'll see the competitors that come out. We'll see who's not scared. We'll see, we're just going to see everything, man. Shout out to Princess Love, 2-time defending Battleground champion. Also, shout out to the gang over at Battleground. Shout out to Misha Shredder. My guy picked up a Trappy Award over the last week. Shout out to Sister Bees. Today is Bees' birthday. Happy birthday to Flight Life Bees. She's probably outside somewhere celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, girl. Love you. Shout out to DJ Verb. Shout out to Timbuktu. Shout out to Don Prince. Shout out to Nair. Shout out to the whole Battleground gang. Shout out to everybody who has supported Battleground for 3 years and 3 seasons. Greatly appreciated. To all y'all people over there. And one final thing, another award show, another year. This is a year of celebration. This is a year that I want those trophies, and I will stop at nothing for those trophies and to get those awards. I know I'm the best at this shit. I just want the hardware that I can hang up or I can just put out just to let everybody know, yeah, I am that dude and I got the hardware to prove it, even though everybody says, Don, you don't need the hardware. But I want the trophies. I want the plaques. I want the medals. I want all that shit. The Legend Awards are coming up in April, but as of now, submissions for nominees have begun. I need y'all to go to legendawards.com. I'll put it in the description somewhere. And to submit the nomination, just put Club Pizzle and go to category 37, Voice of the People, Best Podcast, and let them know, like, Club Pizzle, in the last 4 years, going on 5, he has been that dude. He has brought us the best sports talk in the city, regardless of platform. He's done it at Redline. He's done it on his own. He's been doing it on his own. It's him and his camera and his microphone. This is what I need y'all to type in. Or something along those sorts. Not interview based. It's him doing this thing, talking, and give it to you in 45 minutes or less, or your money back, which y'all don't get no money back because y'all, this is not behind the paywall. So yeah, man, go on and do that. That's legendawards.com. Y'all can do that until February the 4th. I think the nominations come out sometime in March, and the award show is, I believe, April the 26th. Shout out to the people over at the Legend Awards. I think that's it until I get to the end. Now, y'all know the motto. We here for a good time and not a long time. So let's get to it. What did we miss? Of course y'all know what we missed. Or what I missed. Or what I didn't miss. The Cleveland Browns have relieved Kevin Stefanski of his coaching duties after 6 seasons. 45-56 record in the regular season in 6 seasons. 1-2 in the postseason. 2-time Coach of the Year in 2020 and 2023. Led the Cleveland Browns to their first playoff win since 1994. That was the old Browns. All I have to say is I believe like 6 seasons was enough. 6 seasons was more than enough time for things to get turned around. Even though, yes, there were 2 playoff seasons in there, the last 2 seasons weren't the best of, it's a lot. But 6 seasons was enough. And it was time for him and it was time for the organization to go their separate ways. Kevin needs a fresh start elsewhere, which he'll probably get. He's going to be somebody's head coach or somebody's offensive coordinator by Super Bowl Sunday. Somebody's going to hire that man. And as far as the Cleveland Browns, it was time for a change. They needed a change. These last 2 seasons for the Cleveland Browns were horrible. The quarterback situation never got fixed. The quarterback situation hasn't been fixed since Baker Mayfield was, I'm not even going to say exiled, but since Baker Mayfield was cast aside, it's been bad. And they can't seem to figure it out. It's been a lot of quarterbacks here. Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, and we'll get to that debacle. PJ Walker, whatever the hell, dude. Y'all know I don't like that dude. PJ Masks, amongst others. Joe Flacco saw some time. I believe Case Keenum here. Bailey Zappi. And then you have the debacle with the whole Dylan Gabriel, and now we're sitting with Shedeur Sanders as the quarterback. It never got solved, and we still don't know if the quarterback situation is solved with Shedeur Sanders. And I'll talk more roster stuff with the Cleveland Browns next week. I'm only doing one pod a week now. So, again, man, I'm trying to get y'all this in 45 minutes or less. But I don't know what this situation is going to look like with Shedeur Sanders and bringing in a new coach. Bottom line, as far as Kevin Stefanski goes, he didn't win. Bottom line, he didn't win enough to keep his job. 8 wins in 2 seasons after winning Coach of the Year, completely unacceptable. He could have took this team to the Super Bowl. You win 8 games in 2 seasons, you're out of here. You got to go. And I believe that if Jimmy Haslam wanted to get rid of him mid-season, he would have done so. I just don't think that's Jimmy Haslam's style. But that's what I gathered from Andrew Berry's presser. He was saying, they talked about results. He basically was saying wins. Like they made progress, but the results on the field, a.k.a. they didn't win enough. But let me let y'all in on a little something. Let me tell y'all this. The Cleveland Browns lost 6 one-possession games last year. They were in many more, but they lost 6 one-possession games. The opener against the Bengals with the missed field goal. The Vikings, where the defense couldn't close it out. The Jets, where special teams gave up 2 touchdowns, and I believe the defense couldn't hold in that game. The Ravens, where the defense couldn't hold a first-half lead after Dylan Gabriel got hurt and Shedeur Sanders came in. The Titans, where the defense just didn't show up and gave up, 30-something odd points to a rookie quarterback. And the Buffalo Bills, in which the offense couldn't get off the schneid. Split those games, and we might be sitting here having a different conversation about Kevin Stefanski. But I might be sitting here having a different conversation, period, about the Cleveland Browns. Now, as far as candidates go, I got a list. And I want to share this list with you guys on who I think the Cleveland Browns should hire as their head coach. And this list goes as follows. Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco, Skip Bayless, Pac-Man Jones, Gilly the Kid, Bubba Dub, Famous Los, Akeem Talib, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and finally, Stephen A. Smith. Those are the guys who've been pushing this narrative about Deion Sanders and about Shedeur Sanders all this time. Those are the guys. Let me run through this list one more again. Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco. They come as that's a combo. You can't get one without the other. I would have said Joe Johnson, but Joe Johnson don't get involved. Skip Bayless. I might want to put Skip and Akeem Talib together because they on the same show together. Pac-Man Jones, Gilly the Kid, Bubba Dub, Famous Los. You might just want to put them 3 together and let them coach together. Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and Stephen A. Smith. Those should be the coach. Those guys should get interviews for the Cleveland Browns. No, I'm just fucking. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, those are the media members who were really like pushing Kevin Stefanski. I could have threw Ryan Clark's name in there and Swag, Mayo Oucho and RG3. I could have threw a bunch of guys in there, but that's my gag list. Seriously. I was sitting around doing a little bit of research, and I do have names, and I'm going to kick myself. And I'm kicking myself, and I've been laughing at myself because you have to be able to laugh at yourself. I'm using a different scale when it comes to coaches. It's like names are there, of course, but I'm looking at archetypes. Yeah, so what? Sue me. I'm a dude with a podcast. I got to do due diligence. Now, there are 10 archetypes of coaches that I did type in and try to look up and do some research. One is a scheme lord. 2 is a culture builder. 3, the CEO coach. 4, the QB whisperer. 5, the drill sergeant. 6, the gambler. 7, controversial stabilizer. 8, the zombie. 9, mad scientist. 10, the hybrid unicorn. I think the archetype that the Browns need, they need some sort of a hybrid. A CEO, culture builder, hybrid of a coach in here. Somebody like Mike Tomlin, somebody like John Harbaugh, and D'Amico Ryans. That type of coach. Not saying those names per se. John Harbaugh, yes. But of course, I made this whole list, and I did all of this stuff like Monday or Tuesday, before John Harbaugh got fired. The QB whisperer, somebody like Sean Payton. And a drill sergeant, maybe. A Mike Vrabel, a Jim Harbaugh, a Dan Quinn type. Those are the 3 archetypes for me. The CEO / culture builder, the QB whisperer, or the drill sergeant. Those are the 3 archetypes that they should look at. However, the mind of Andrew Berry, nobody knows about. Like he says, he gives off very vague replies to stuff. Like it's very, I'm not gonna say it's confusing. He basically I'm not gonna answer your question, but this is what I will say. Or that was a dumbass question, so this is how I'm gonna answer. That's how Andrew Berry comes off to me. But from what I hear, Andrew Berry is always the way that he is, like that. And everybody wonders why Kevin Stefanski got fired and Andrew Berry didn't. This past off season has Andrew Berry's fingerprints on it. I had a feeling about it, and I did get it confirmed by someone before Jimmy Haslam came out and said it at his season closing presser this past month. The draft, the free agency, the acquisitions that he made saved his job. But I will ask this question. Everyone says, and I'm just asking a question, and I'm just being devil's advocate here really, really quick. A lot of people said Kevin Stefanski didn't put Shedeur Sanders in the best position to win. But did Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam, and at the time Paul DePodesta, put Kevin Stefanski in the best position to win? And I just want y'all to look at this. I just want y'all to think about this. You kept hearing the word transition. They literally tore down the offense damn near to the bare bones. You bring in a quarterback in Kenny Pickett, in whom Kevin Stefanski absolutely loved. You traded him without his. You draft Dylan Gabriel, which was apparently Kevin Stefanski's choice of a quarterback. To turn around on day 3 to draft Shedeur Sanders. Right? And then you bring in old man Joe Flacco. And again, I'm going back to what I said before on what I believe that the plan was supposed to be. I still am of the belief that if Kenny Pickett was healthy during training camp, Kenny Pickett goes into the season as QB1. But that's going off on a tangent. You bring in those 4 quarterbacks. You're breaking in 2 rookie running backs and bringing over a third. You're breaking in rookie wide receivers. You're breaking in a rookie tight end. You're breaking in another new left tackle. You're basically rebuilding your offensive line on the fly. So what's Kevin Stefanski in the best position to win? I'm only posing the question because I've had some time to sit and think about it. Everybody talks about how when Shedeur Sanders got to play, and I'll talk more about this stuff next week again, about how Shedeur Sanders wasn't put in the best position to win. Was Kevin Stefanski put in the best position? And again, I just feel like it might have been his time to go. It was time. 6 years was enough. And he's going to land okay. Hell, by the time I finish recording this, I ain't looked at my phone in a minute. By the time I'm recording this, he could have got a job already. But we'll see. As far as the coaches, they'll probably go with some. You have to go, again, those archetypes and a young offensive mind that can grow with this young offensive team. You have Shedeur Sanders. You got Quinshon Judkins, who hopefully comes back from his injury. You have Dylan Sampson. You have Rocket Sanders. You have Jerry Jeudy, who probably will be back. You got Isaiah Bond. You got Harold Fanning Jr. Will David Njoku will be back again. This is all stuff I'm going to talk about next week as far as roster move. Coaches. And from what I know for a fact that Tommy Rees and Jim Schwartz have interviewed. I do have a list of other guys and potential candidates, and this is I'm getting this stuff from the experts. Again, I have to explain this. I'm just a dude with a podcast. I do my research. There are certain writers and certain reporters and certain insiders that I trust that I'm going to get my information from, and I'm going to share that information with my people. I know Tommy Rees and Jim Schwartz have interviews. I have a few other names on this list. And again, this is a wide coaching search. This is very important for Andrew Berry. So I'm expecting to hear a lot of names, and no stone should go unturned. Because Andrew Berry, this is your show now. You had a hell of a draft and a hell of a free agency period when you had control, and you got Paul DePodesta's ass up out of here. Thank you for that. Salute to that. Love that. Happy about that. But now, you're getting to choose this head coach. This is your job on the line. 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. If it doesn't work out, if that coach has to go, your ass got to go too. Which it should be. So, again, Tommy Rees and Jim Schwartz have interviewed. Chris Shula, young offensive mind. If y'all know the last name, yep, that's a Nepo baby. You know he comes from that family. Mike LaFleur's name is coming up. Robert Saleh's name is coming up. Remember, Robert Saleh did interview for the Browns job before. He interviewed for the job. before they hired Kevin Stefanski. I think they were in that same cycle. Clint Kubiak, of course. I mean, you have to look at these offensive guys. Aiden Dirty, he's doing a great job. Todd Monken, John Harbaugh, of course, he's newly fired. Brian Flores, Joe Brady, Mike McCarthy, and Mike McDaniel. Who do I think? I'm not even going to tell y'all who I think or who I want. Actually, I will. Joe Brady is at the top of my list. Brian Flores is at the top of my list. Mike McDaniel is at the top of my list. Those three guys, and again, I'm not going to get upset if those guys don't get the job. My gut is telling me that Mike McCarthy is going to get that job. And hopefully he can keep Jim Schwartz on as a defensive coordinator. Or whomever gets that gig, I hope Jim Schwartz is able to stay here. If Brian Flores gets that job, bring in one of these offensive, these good OCs. Maybe he can hire Mike McDaniel as his OC. Maybe he can get Joe Brady from out of Buffalo and get him as the OC for the Cleveland Browns. Because that is important. The defense is cool. The defense is set. The core is there. And again, I'll talk roster stuff next week. We're just at the coaching search right now. So let me run through those games in there. Tommy Rees and Jim Schwartz, of course, they're in the building. They're going to get, that's a natural thing. They're going to get interviewed. Chris Shula, Mike LaFleur, Robert Saleh, Clint Kubiak, Aiden Dirty, Todd Monken, John Harbaugh, Brian Flores, Joe Brady, Mike McCarthy, and Mike McDaniel. Let me tell you a coach or a name that I don't want to hear and a name that I didn't write down, and I didn't write it down on purpose. And this will be the first and only time I kick people's backs. But the next person that says Deion Sanders should be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to find you and I'm going to punch you in the face. That is not, come on. We all love Deion. Yes. But no. For one, I got 3 reasons why Deion Sanders should not and will not be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns in 2026 and beyond. Reason number 1, Deion don't want to coach the pros. He's been vocal about not coaching the pros for as long as I can remember. Every interview or any interview that you hear him talk about coaching, he's like, no, I don't want to coach the pros. He'd rather help coach the kids. Started with Pop Warner, had his own high school in Texas, moved up to Jackson State, moved to Colorado. He don't want to coach pros. He wants to be the guy who gets these guys ready to get to the pros. He don't want to coach a bunch of people like him in the league who cry babies and prima donnas and don't want to listen to. He's not doing that. Reason number 2. Deion Sanders is the healthiest. We've seen his journey with the clots in his foot and him having 8 toes in his recent battle with cancer. He's not healthy enough. It's not even a given that Deion Sanders is coaching college football 3, 4, 5 years from now. And reason number 3 why Deion Sanders is not going to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns or any NFL team for that matter. He hasn't been successful at Colorado. The record speaks for itself. He can't win in the Big 12. What in the hell y'all think he going to do in the AFC North or the AFC for that matter? Again, I love Deion Sanders, but no. I need y'all to stop saying that. Leave it alone. Before I get off of the Cleveland Browns, I want to give a big congratulations to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett broke the single season sack record. It now stands at 23. Got the sack over Joe Burrow this past Sunday to close the season out. Now, he would have had that sack. He would have had sacks the week before, but Aaron Rodgers want to be a bitch and be a douchebag and play not to get sacked. But congratulations to Myles Garrett. Congratulations, big dog. We hope to have you here in Cleveland for a long time. Now, before I move on, y'all hear me saying we. I decided to live my sabbatical before the Pittsburgh Steelers. I did that by design. I was like, you know what? I want to get some things, change some things up. So that's what I did. Brown sabbatical is over with. Ever since I came off of my Cleveland Browns sabbatical, Cleveland Browns were 2-0. They beat the Steelers and they beat the Bengals. So one time, young bro got off the sabbatical and they just immaculately started winning. Y'all can thank me for that. I'm the good one. Moving right along. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they continue to kind of be stuck in the mud, but they're starting to find their footing. They're still not playing their best basketball, which I guess going into January or being in January and starting to find it is okay. They're coming out of that move. Their last few games, they beat the Spurs, they beat the Suns on New Year's Eve, they beat the Nuggets, and they beat the Pacers, and sandwiched in that was a loss to Detroit. That Detroit loss was a tough one because they spotted them elite, and that's the one thing that the Cavaliers have been doing. They have been spotting good teams' leads, or they've been letting one player get hot and catch fire. I watched it in the Warriors game, that Cam Spencer, and I ain't seen that dude since. Caught fire in that game. It happened with the Raptors. I forgot dude's name, but he went crazy. I even forgot the dude's name on the Pistons that got hot. He had like 20-something. He had like 25 points in the first half. Didn't miss in the first half. But it's stuck in the mud, but it's starting to get there. They currently stand at 21-17. I think they're going to climb out of that. I think this team is going to get hot at some point, and this time of year is usually the time they get hot. Mid-January, going into the All-Star break, finding a rhythm and catching that rhythm and going. I think they run off a 10, 12-game winning streak, which this team is capable of that. And they're right back at the top of the Eastern Conference. I'm still not scared of the Pistons. I know what JB Bickerstaff coach teams can do. I'm a Cavs fan. I saw what JB did here. We know what he's capable of. And JB is doing a fantastic job with the Detroit Pistons, with that team. Kay Cunningham is all world. Thompson is all world. It's good to see Jaden Hardy back. It's great to see that kid back after that gruesome injury he suffered last year. Great to see him back. They're doing a great job up there, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to catch them. Max Strus is out for another month with that foot fracture. And from what I heard or what I read in the report, he's been going so hard trying to get back. They have to, and that's what you have to do to these athletes. And people talk about, oh, that's being soft. No. You have to save these guys from themselves sometimes. Fully healed so you can get back. And he's out for at least another month, so the 1st of February and going right before the All-Star break, right when teams start ramping things up. Larry Nance Jr. is still out. It's to the point where you almost forget that Larry Nance Jr. is a part of this team. Evan Mobley had a little calf strain. He came back early, which honestly still scares the hell out of me. We all know that calf strain or those calf injuries are the first steps toward popping your Achilles. And I'm scared to death about Evan. And I really hope he came back and he seems to be moving well. He's still, like you miss a couple games, like getting that basketball win back up is a mother. If Strus doesn't get back, and I know Sam Merrill is working his way back, he's killing this. Jalen Tyson's doing a great job. Naquan Tomlin is doing a great job. DeAndre Hunter is finding his footing and coming off the bench again. But if we can't get Strus back, and I believe Strus will come back, there is someone right under the Cleveland Cavaliers' nose, right in their facilities every day, right in their building, and playing in the city right now. I'm talking about Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is having a season with the Cleveland Chargers. And I'm kind of salty that I didn't renew my Charge tickets this year. I just wasn't with it this year to do it. I was like, but Killian Hayes is having a great season. He had 18 assists in a game last night. I love how Craig Porter Jr. is playing. He's earned a rotation spot. They were saying Craig wasn't doing the work. And this is firsthand information from Kenny Atkinson and from other assistant coaches that CPJ wasn't doing the work. And like, all right, now you got to do the work. He's been doing the work, and he's been having some great games. Tyrese Proctor is still on the bench. What a steal that. Lonzo Ball, I love to pick up at the time, but offensively, he's just not there. Or scoring the ball, I should say. He is a great facilitator. Love him when he facilitates, and he plays defense. He just can't hit a bucket to save his life. He hit a three every now and again, but 5 is like, we need a little more than 5 points. If you're going to come out there, we need another bucket or 2 from Lonzo. Defensively, he is doing a fantastic job. He's playing good defense. Offensively, it's just not there. Jalen Tyson is playing well, but Jalen Tyson still does bonehead shit. And I love Jalen Tyson, and I love what he did all season. I'm proud of that dude, just to see where he's come. The jump from year 1 to year 2 for Jalen Tyson has been awesome. And he has been a pleasant surprise for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has been a welcome part of this team. And he stepped right in there, and he's balling. Do the Cavs need to make a move? Not really. However, if the Sacramento Kings do want to get on the phone, y'all want a point guard? Y'all want a big? Even though I'm thinking, I don't want to part with Jared Allen, because when Jared Allen is not in the game, you don't realize you miss Jared Allen until he's not playing. And the Cavs missed Jared Allen this past Sunday against the Pistons. They missed him dearly. But Sacramento want to get on the phone and say, hey, let's make a deal. Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, Keegan Murray, Any combination of those guys, they want a point guard to stabilize their team. The minus a bonus. They want Darius Garland that bad. Give me Domas. Would I trade Garland and Allen for Sabonis and Levine? Yes. Would I trade Garland and Allen for Domas and Keegan Murray? Fuck yeah. I love Darius Garland. I am one of Darius Garland's biggest supporters in this city. Almost got into a fight at the Cavs game against the Nuggets with another season ticket holder who thought I wasn't a season ticket holder about Darius Garland because he just kept chirping. Let me tell this story, and then we'll get to Pizzles. So we at the game, and this dude is crying and bitching for 3 quarters. It get to the 4th quarter, and he just got talking about Darius Garland, and he talked about his toe. And I asked him, have you ever had turf toe? And he said something, and I asked him, I say, have you ever had turf toe? I'll say this. If I wasn't where I was in life, that whole thing could have went a whole nother way. And I had to let him know. He tried to throw his season ticket holder stuff in my face as if I am not a season ticket holder myself. I told him, I say, I'm a season ticket holder too. You barking up the wrong tree. I'm just not in my seat where I usually sit at tonight. It would have got, but I knew where I was at. And shout out to that gentleman, just to let you know, it's okay. You don't know better. You didn't know any better. And you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And I say that and smile. Moving right along. Let's get to it, man. Pizzles picks. By the time this is recording, I'm gonna get to the college football playoff right now. As y'all can see, y'all see what I'm wearing. Y'all know I'm not playing around. Yeah, I had to repeat the shirt. I'm in all orange because my squad is currently playing right now as this recording is going on. Miami Hurricanes and Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. And I'll have more on the college bowl and the college football playoff and all of that stuff next week. I just, first show back, got some things to cover, had something, Browns coaching changed a lot of things. Listen, I'm going with my Miami Hurricanes. And if we win this week, the national championship game next week, I'm going with my Miami Hurricanes. I'm rolling. Shout out to all my Ohio State people who avoided me after that New Year's Eve victory. Shout out to my guy Chris Cargile for actually facing the music, and me and him have had great conversations, and we know the vibes with that game. But the rest of y'all who talk all that shit, all right, this is the last time I'm kicking people back in. All of y'all talk all of that shit all of those years, and my team faced Ohio State in the playoff, and we beat y'all. And we kind of beat y'all ass. And all of y'all tuck tail. I don't forget anything. We here. But I'm picking my Miami Hurricanes to win tonight and tomorrow in the Peach Bowl, Oregon versus Indiana in a rematch of a game that took place in the regular season, which was a good game. I am going to pick Indiana to win this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think tonight's game is going to be close as well. It's going to be defenses. It's going to be I think these games are going to be like in the low 20s, maybe. First team to 24 wins these games. So my national championship is going to be my Hurricanes going against Indiana. But Indiana was dominant over Alabama. They're the only team to have a bye in this 12-team playoff to win a game. again, I'll get to that next week. Now let's get on. The NFL playoffs are here. I really have no idea who's going to the Super Bowl. But I am gonna have I'm a pick. I got some good. I'm gonna just go with my gut. But I'm going to pick these playoff games. Super wild card weekend. The LA Rams take on the Carolina Panthers. I am taking the Rams, even though y'all know how I feel about teams traveling from west to east to play games. It's not a good thing, but the Carolina Panthers are below 500, 8-9. I think they did get a win over the Rams in the regular season, but it's a whole different ball game right here. I'm going with the Rams. I believe in Sean McVay. I love Sean McVay. I'm a Sean McVay fan. If Sean McVay could be the coach of the Cleveland Browns, I will welcome him with open arms. I will be on the welcome wagon to bring him here. The Green Bay Packers take on the Chicago Bears in the Saturday primetime slot. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears to win that game. It's going to be a defensive battle, and that Chicago defense takes the ball away more than any other team. So I'm going with it. Sunday, the Buffalo Bills travel to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with the Bills here. I trust Josh Allen more than I trust Trevor Lawrence. The San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions. I'm taking San Francisco. Again, I'm taking the teams traveling west to east. Yes, they're injured. And yes, I think those guys are going to play in that playoff game. Trent Williams amongst all of them. Trent plays, it's on. I'm going with the 49ers. The Chargers travel to take on the New England Patriots. That's where I'm drawing the line. I'm taking the Patriots to win that game. Drake May is going to win MVP. And the Monday night game, the Houston Texans take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the Houston Texans. It's the best defense in the league. So what, the Steelers are getting DK Metcalf back. I think the Houston Texans win this game, and it's going to be a blow. And my Super Bowl picks, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers versus the Buffalo Bills. That's just where I'm at with it. I believe in Josh Allen. I think this is his opportunity. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Joe Burrow. There's no Lamar Jackson. Time to do your thing, Josh. It's your year. You better than all of these quarterbacks that are there. You're better than Trevor Lawrence. You're better than Drake May. You're better than Justin Herbert. You're better than C.J. Stroud. You're damn sure is better than Aaron Rodgers, and you are better than Bo Nix. You are the best quarterback in that conference. It is time for y'all to show improved Buffalo defense. Y'all need to back him up. And I'm going with the 49ers. Feel like they're going to make that run. This is some nice shit. And with that said, y'all, I am going to get out of here. But before I get out of here, and I hate to end it on this note, but this past December 20th, I lost someone who I can call a friend. Anybody in Cleveland that's been on the entertainment scene and been around for the past year and change, I just want to say rest in peace to Emmy, the assistant, and tragically lost her life on December 20th. I'm still processing it, and it happened weeks ago. Anybody who knew Emmy knew she was the life of the party. She danced like she was around, like, and I was on in the Post podcast, and I want to give prayers, and I did this publicly, and I did this with those guys the other day. But my prayers and my condolences go to the family of Emmy. She was a mother, and her entertainment family over there in the Post, Big Pooh, Big Chase, as well as Dame. Just I go back to that and sitting on that pod with her, and the clip just surfaced, and Pooh posted that clip of me talking about Kendall Lewis, who is no longer here, and who would have known that, she wouldn't be here anymore. But again, prayers and condolences to the family and friends and supporters and colleagues of Emmy the assistant. Rest in peace, Emmy. We love you and we miss you. And with that said, y'all know what it is. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators, be great, stay positive, because negative energy is trash. Until next week, y'all. Peace.